Dr. Jignesh Vanani, Senior Resident Cardiology at UN Mehta Institute, Ahmedabad. Today I am discussing non-statin therapy for the lipid management. As we all know that lipid management is the core concept to reduce the atherosclerotic cardiovascular diseases. So today I am going to discuss bit about metabolism of cholesterol, then why only statin is not enough, available non-statin therapies and any guideline or document. So this is little bit busy slides which currently depicts that the cholesterol has exogenous as well as endogenous pathway. Exogenous is the cholesterol absorption from the gut followed by to the transportation to the liver, and then in endogenous pathway from the liver it is goes to the all body energy or wherever cholesterol is required. So statin act at the rate limiting enzyme in the liver, HMG-CoA reductase, and which was inhibited by the statin. So newer drugs like that are act at above level of the HMG-CoA or below, and some drugs act at the level of gut, and another the paradigm shift is from the enzymatic inhibition. Currently we are shifting towards the molecular inhibition or at the level of genetic inhibition. So this is exogenous and endogenous pathway. Newer drugs which act at the gut levels are ezetimibe or old bile acid sequestrants, then fibrates, then bempedoic acid which is ATP citrase lyase inhibitor, then another molecular level newer are PCSK9 inhibitors like evolocumab or alirocumab. Newer volanesorsen, ivanocumab are mainly for the triglyceride reduction, but which can also reduce the LDL also. So why statin is not enough? So there are inherent risk of rhabdomyolysis which is less than 0.1%, very low, but and very serious liver injuries which is also very low. Moderate increase in the diabetes mellitus 0.2% here, and there is large controversy regarding the statin intolerance or myalgia symptoms, and statin as we all know that contraindicated in the pregnancy. And above all with statin there is these are the large surveys or studies which shows that the statin high intensity or low intensity, the goal achievable is around 50%, not more than that. And there are two Indian studies, diverse study, which shows that only the patients with atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease at goal is only 7.7%, and one another Balkrishnan et al. Study shows that the with high intensity statin 82% can achieve LDL goals. So remaining almost 20% to 50% needed another drug than the statin, or from changes from the low to moderate to the high intensity statin. So available options other than statins are, first and foremost is healthy lifestyle, then gut inhibitor ezetimibe or injectable PCSK9 inhibitor, CETP inhibitor, then N3 polysaturated fatty acids, then bempedoic acid. Emerging therapies are, some are oral, some are injectables like inclisiran, MTP inhibitor lometabide, antisense oligomypomersan, then specifically for the triglyceride lowering, older generations fibrates and newer generations is palm fibrate, then pradigast, then ApoC3 antisense oligonucleotide like volanesorsen, then monoclonal antibody against NGPTL3 is ivanacumab. The hype to increase the LDL right now decrease with the trials with the CETP inhibitors failed to show the benefit to reduce the cardiovascular benefit. Then to target the newer small LPA or lipoprotein A is the apheresis, and newer anti-inosis ApoA or inosis ApoA LR both shows the robust reduction in the LPA in the primary trials. So with foremost thing is the lifestyle modification, exercise like 150 minutes per week divided throughout the week. Then in diet, low saturated fatty acid, whole grain diet, vegetable, fruit, fish, weight, then manage weight according to under control within the BMI, robust hypertension control, and foremost thing is quit tobacco. These all things reduces the risk of the atherosclerotic cardiovascular diseases. Then ezetimibe, it is the act as the gut level which blocks the Niemann-Pick C1 like cholesterol transfer protein to inhibit intestinal and biliary cholesterol absorption, leading to increase the expression of hepatic LDL receptor. The previously few years back which improve it trial which shows that the against the statin, with use of the statin on add-on therapy as ezetimibe, there is further 18% reduction in the LDL level, and also reduction in the cardiovascular benefit. But the alone trial of the ezetimibe is not showing benefit. So currently the guideline shows that on the top of tolerated or maximally tolerated dose of LDL, maximally tolerated dose of statin, if LDL target is not achievable, then ezetimibe can be added. Another is the PCSK9 inhibitors like evolocumab and erilocumab. Basically, PCSK9 inhibitors are monoclonal antibodies which inactivate the PCSK9 enzyme, which in turn increase the availability of LDL receptor on hepatocytes and promote the removal of LDL cholesterol from the circulation. And in trials with PCSK9 inhibitor, robust more than 60% reduction in the LDL cholesterol level. Fourier trial and Odyssey outcome trials which shows the benefit of the LDL reduction which leads to further decreasing the cardiovascular events. But current two issues with the PCSK9 inhibitor, the safety beyond the 3 years is not available and cost is the major issues. So another oral drug is bempedoic acid which inhibit the ATP citrate lyase enzyme which upregulates the LDL receptor by reducing cholesterol synthesis. The primary trial is Clear Harmony trial which evaluate the long-term safety and tolerability of bempedoic acid in high-risk patient with hyperlipidemia, which shows that on the top of statin it reduces the further LDL level. Recently published trial of the bempedoic acid Clear Outcome which shows that on the top of or in the statin intolerance patient on adding of the bempedoic acid and with LDL level more than 100, which results in the further reduction of the cardiovascular events over the median follow-up of 40 months. But the main Clear Outcome trials have shows the benefit of bempedoic acid, but the patient selection or true statin intolerance definition is variable. The most of the patient used either moderate or low intensity statin drug, and no alone bempedoic acid and cardiovascular outcome trial is still awaiting. Another is the N3 fatty acid which is the icosapentaenoic acid or docosahexaenoic acid which reduces the triglyceride level by reduction the production of VLDL and increase VLDL clearance. So patients with severe hypertriglyceridemia more than 500 mg per deciliter typically need to be treated with 4 gram per day early open label studies and early meta-analysis shows the benefit with EPA, but recent trials like strength trial shows that there is more than 13,000 patients followed for more than 2 years, but there is N3 omega 3 acid fatty acid is not superior to the placebo, but reduce it. Previously presented trial shows the robot reduction in the MACE almost 25% with the 4 gram of icosapentaenol ethyl. So the difference between both the trials shows that the if we use the purified form, then it may benefit to the patient. Another drugs in the pipeline is the inclisiran, which is small interfering RNA which designed to target PCSK9 messenger RNA and inhibit the PCSK9 synthesis. Phase 2 randomized trial shows the dose dependent reduction in PCSK9 and LDL cholesterol level. Orion group of the trial, which shows that the inclisiran shows the robust clinical outcome among the cardiovascular disease. And another ongoing phase 3 trial is ongoing for the MACE outcome for the drug. And the another beauty of this drug is from once monthly or twice yearly injection is possible with the inclisiran. Current issue is the cost for the inclisiran. Bile acid sequestrants, which reduces the bile acid from the intestine and impedes their reabsorption, and as the bile acid pool decrease, hepatic enzyme cholesterol 7 hydroxylase is upregulated, which in turn increase the demand for cholesterol in the liver cell, resulting dual effect like increase the biosynthetic enzyme HMG-CoA reductase, and another increase the LDL receptor activity. So currently available drugs are colesevelam, cholestyramine or colestypel, with both are FDA approved and which can be used after the use of tolerable or maximally used dose of the statin and LDL goal is not achievable. The issue with drug is with colesevelam and there is mild increase in triglyceride level. There are issues of the transaminitis also. Another is the LDL apheresis, which selectively removes the ApoB containing lipoproteins and acutely reduce the LDL level. So currently FDA approved for the LDL apheresis for the FH patient, familial hypercholesteremia patient with LDL more than 500 and having cardiovascular disease. With cardiovascular disease, apheresis can be done at the level above 300 milligram. So we have to take venous assess and patient undergo apheresis system. Problem with the venous assess, transient hypotension like in the hemodialysis, patient may have fatigue, bleeding, hypocalcemia, iron deficiency due to the regular phlebotomy procedure. But benefit is mean LDL reduction is more than 50 to 60%, and which is higher than the any drug. Another new drug is lometepide, which has been approved to LDL-C total cholesterol in a patient with homozygous hypercholesteremia. It is oral inhibitor of MTP transport protein, which is small molecule which transport the cholesterol from the gut to the liver and from the liver to the other cells. In multinational single arm open label study phase 3 trial in homozygous FH patient, it reduced the LDL from the baseline to up to the 50%. Till now, no atherosclerotic cardiovascular trial for the lometepide has been done. Another is the injectable anti-ASO mipomersen, which is second generation ASO, acts mainly in the liver where it binds to the ApoB mRNA, causing its cleavage and prevents the synthesis of ApoB 100 protein. It has been approved by FDA to used in homozygous FH patient. Usual dose is subcutaneous 200 milligram weekly. Most common side effects are the injection site reaction, flu-like reaction, and increase in the hepatic fat content. No cardiovascular outcome data till now available. Another drug is Gemcitabine. This is a novel drug, has been multiple targets to lower the LDL triglyceride HSCRP. It inhibits the acetyl-CoA carboxylase and 3-hydroxy 3-HMG-CoA enzyme in the liver. So it reduces the production of cholesterol as well as triglyceride. Gemcitabine has been shown to enhance clearance of the VLDL in plasma as well as it increase the ApoC3 level, which further reduce the VLDL. The Gemcitabine reduce the production of cholesterol and triglyceride inside liver as well as in the body. So the small trial of the Gemcitabine has been positive, but currently no atherosclerotic trial has been going on. Old PPARA like fibrates is basically reduce the regulation of the fatty acid transport as well as paroxysmal and mitochondrial oxidation in the liver. Fibrates are the first generation PPARA agonist. So next generation is the PEM fibrate. Last year this is prominent trial has been published to reduce the triglyceride level in the high risk cardiovascular group. At the end of the trial against the placebo, which doesn't show any benefit, but it shows that the reduction of the triglyceride level with the PEM fibrate, but doesn't. So ultimate concept is either we have to reduce the triglyceride level with drug, but it doesn't reduces the cardiovascular events in the patient. Another is the LPL gene therapy in severe hypertriglyceridemia, like alipogene T-power8 gene, approved therapy for the lipoprotein deficiency, and which shows that every 12-week administration with sustained reduction in the triglyceride level and immune response against this LPL gene therapy has been found. So repeated treatment is required and cost is another issue with the gene therapy. Another is the diacylglycerol acetyl transferase 1, which is required for the fat absorption and triglyceride synthesis. Pradigas, currently trial is ongoing for this small molecule. Another is NGPTL3 and evanacumab. It is monoclonal antibodies which act as which regulates the cholesterol metabolism in the liver. So it act at the genetic level, and in a FH patient, homozygous FH patient, small trial shows that there is reduction in the LDL up to 50%, triglyceride up to 50%. Current latest trial, ELLIPSE homozygous FH patient, after 24 weeks of administration of the evanacumab, which shows the reduction of the LDL up to 40% and triglyceride up to 50%. So currently we have discussed all the non-statin therapy available in the market. Some are FDA approved, some are not approved, some are in the pipeline. So last year this ACC has been published the consensus statement or pathways of the non-statin therapy for the LDL cholesterol lowering. So we have used this non-statin therapy in primary prevention as well as secondary prevention. In secondary prevention, as we all know that patients with atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, and for primary prevention, adult with diabetes with LDL more than 100, adult without diabetes LDL more than 190, or patient of the severe homozygous or heterozygous FH. So we have to consider adherence to the therapy, adherence to the lipid, true statin intolerance or statin associated side effect. Then we have optional interventions of the oral addition of the ezetimibe or bempedoic acid or bile acid sequestrant. Still, if LDL goal is not achievable, then we can add PCSK9 monoclonal antibodies or inclisiran. And in homozygous FH patient, LDL apheresis, lometimide or evanacumab can be used. This is 2019 ESC guideline for the cholesterol management, which shows that the first we have to calculate the CV risk assessment and baseline LDL level. So we start with the either high intensity or moderate intensity statin along with the lifestyle modification in all patients. So highest potency or highest recommended and tolerated dose of statin added, and then repeat the lipid levels at the interval of 4 to 6 weeks. And if LDL goal is not achievable, then guidelines suggest to add ezetimibe. Then repeat the lipid level after 4 to 6 weeks. Still LDL goal is not achievable, then add PCSK9 inhibitor. And currently recent some guideline also add addition of the oral bempedoic acid at the instead of ezetimibe, but currently it is not into the guideline. So in the summary, there is a whole new range of the drugs available to reduce the cholesterol. The paradigm shift from the enzymatic inhibition from the HMG co-inhibitor to the at the molecular or genetic level mRNA reduction like inclisiran and evolocumab. So with time we have to see the non-statin drugs like oral bempedoic acid, ezetimibe use is going to increase, but we have to use the first maximally tolerated or maximally recommended dose of the statin and to see the reduction of the LDL level. Then another is the keep lipid lower to the lowest is the best, and try to achieve target LDL level. The target LDL level is less than 55 or less than 40 in recurrent cardiovascular events. So first learns that the LDL lowest is best, and unlearns that the statin is the only available drugs, and relearn that the addition of the non-statin therapy is helpful in some of your patients. Thank you very much.